Alrighty, here it is, all finished up. I finished fab on this, I think before Christmas of 2021 or somewhere around January 2022. The whole build is up on my channel. I actually just finished this seat yesterday. And originally, this bike went up for sale in the raw. I had put it up for sale before Christmas, which isn't exactly the best time to be trying to sell stuff. In my experience, people trying to hang on to their money for the holidays. So I went ahead and just took it down. And I'm like, well, let me just go ahead and finish the bike out and put it back up. Well, it's really not even for sale right now at this time. I am going to tell you that if you're interested, because this is going to come up, it always does, which is the only reason I'm putting this out there, is if you want this, I want $2,500 for it, which is actually a bargain price for what you're getting. I just finished these bars, I think like 2 weeks ago. If you want to know why it's 2,500 and not 1,200 or 900, which is what people are used to paying for mini bikes, go back and watch the first build video on this, and it goes into detail as to why it costs that. So there's a pretty big difference between something that's scratch built from nothing, a pile of tubing on the floor, and something that came off like a Coleman that came off an assembly line, that they're just cranking them out and there's really no craftsmanship involved and they're mass produced. So you're paying for engineering and you're paying for fab time. Not to mention this is 100% TIG welded. It's all fixture welded. You can see my frame fixture right here, which is under some seat upholstery material right now. But yeah, that's what you're paying for, and is engineering and fab time as a custom fabricator. I mean, as you can see, these little bikes aren't the only thing I do, and the vast consensus among people in the mini bike community that know pricing and know why stuff costs what it costs, they know. But I do get those random people that, and this is with everything. It could be the mini bikes or motorcycles or whatever. They think the total price of a build is the sum of the parts. And you can tell right away that there are people that are parts changers or just engine builders. So they look at an entire build and go, oh, well, it's just a stock Predator and blah, blah, blah. Why would it cost $2,500? Again, you're paying for engineering and custom fab time. That's your $2,500 price total. I can tell you that on this particular bike, I have a detailed parts list, which I do on everything I build, and it cost in raw parts and material to make this $1,200. So you're paying me an additional $1,300 to make this out of nothing. Because I'm also going to get asked, it's a 12-inch by 12-inch this way by 7-inch wide rear wheel, and it's a 13-inch front wheel. So there you go, guys. All done, and My intent at this point is probably to just keep this for myself. I'm getting kind of tired of going back and forth with these mini bikes because, again, it's one more of those things. I found with this group of people, it's very similar to this group of people. Everyone thinks it's cool, but when we start talking about money, it's not so cool anymore. My plans this year are just to keep going and more this direction, and where I don't run into that so much. But anyhow, that's the bike. I'm super happy with it and the way it came out. And it is basically just going to be an ongoing project for me because I would still like to make a custom tank and pull this engine back out of here and bring it up to at least a stage 2. But really, this bike was never about speed anyway. I mean, I think that's also pretty obvious. It was more of a showpiece and a custom piece than, I mean, obviously it's not an all-out drag bike. I wouldn't even build an all-out drag bike that's single-sided like this. I did at the last second decide not to go with the center cap. This is actually the center cap for that. And one of my main inspirations for this build was the rear of a Honda Ruckus with this whole look. And I had this in there before, but to me it just takes away from that deep dish look that I was after. So I basically just blacked out the hub in the center and the lug nuts, and I like it a lot more like that. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for subscribing. I get kind of surprised sometimes. I had actually just seen a buddy yesterday. He stopped by in his Harley. I was finishing up the seat on this, and I haven't seen him in 2 years since pre-pandemic. And one of the first things he said was like, "Hey buddy, I haven't seen you in a long time. I saw you on YouTube and I subscribed. I watched a couple of your videos." So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. I'll keep you posted on what's going on this year with stuff. This bike, for my subscribers that know, is I'm actually breaking this down today for paint and chrome. The guy that owns this bike, his painter has been switching shops. It was like the fab was done. He was ready to go. I was ready to go on my end. And then his painter had to emergency move locations. Something with the landlord sold the building out from under them or some crazy thing. They had to move like 50 cars and bikes and all this crazy stuff. So I'm getting back on that today and getting it ready to break down for paint and all that. And then I'm still working on the Harley Rat Rod, and I got some other new stuff too. So thanks for staying tuned, and I'll keep you posted.